Take number 2. Hello everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. In the last episode, we gained admittance to the Institutionalized and passed the interview process with Preposter Amelia, who quizzed us on the reasons we might want to enter, and then ensured we weren't going to do anything unbecoming to the members of the Institute via a series of rather tricky questions that we managed to navigate through. We've been given a bunk bed. Our bed is the bottom. Not that it seems to matter. We're not going to be able to sleep on a bed while we're here. We have a locker that we're sharing with the gentleman here, Lazy Lau, and we have the entire Institute to explore. So we're going to try to get to it this episode. But I hope you guys didn't take note that the Institute doors shut when we entered. There is no way out of this Institute unless we can... Well, that's not necessarily true. But you're led to believe that the only way out is the way you got in. And it will likely be the case for us. In any case, we've got a big building to explore. And before we get going, I did some things off screen. Leaving is not one that I did. We're not able to leave this structure, at least not so easily. I went around and picked the pockets of various people in most of the places I had access to, with the exception of the... Oh, what's it called now? Not preservation. Investigation chambers. All of those people we still need to investigate, I suppose you could say. Make sure they're not hiding anything in their pockets like we are. That'd be very unbecoming of other Institute members to walk around with things on themselves. You're not supposed to do that, I'm pretty sure. In any case, I picked quite a few items of food off of people's pockets. Look at that. Someone just had a burger inside their pockets. Who stuffs a cheeseburger in your pants pocket? Who does that? I have no clue. People in the Institute, apparently. This definitely smells like they're up to no good. We gained a few repair kits off screen. There might have been a few other odds and ends I've acquired. And a few Charons as well. Which brings us up to, by the way, 17,697 Charons. We're almost done also upgrading our home. That's quite a bit of money that we still have to spend on, say, more super steel. Anyway, let's get started with the exploration. I was trying to figure out if these names come from someplace. I can't figure it out if they do. Pyrophore sounds a bit like if you replace the I with a Y, it would be pyrophores and fire. And I think they do use fire bolts and fire spells. Which would mean it's a Greek name, I think. Oh my goodness. Viewer, I don't know if I can record anymore. Oh. The cough is getting so much worse because of how itchy it is at the back of my throat. Let's try to get over to investigation, or someplace we haven't been where we can talk for a bit with a person, and we'll see how it goes. And if it goes poorly, there may not be any more Underrail for a few weeks until after I'm done with consolidation therapy and out of COVID. Hopefully, with my throat no longer bothering me. Whenever I get sick, I get this recovery cough, is what I call it. It's a little itch in the very back of my throat that lasts for months. And it does this to me. Makes me cough like a crazy person. And it hurts because it contracts all the muscles in my chest. Oh, it's awful. And it's gonna get worse before it gets better for me. Oh well. Alright, so this is the canteen we were told about. Looks like a fun cafeteria. No one of note in the actual eating area. There is Theodore, who looks like he's serving the food. Hey, Neonite. I ate so much I can't move. Doing fine, Tim? Tim, what brings you here? It's probably hunger. A stupid question. Nah, it's not a stupid question. It's fine. That meal was so apex. Might have eaten a bit too much. This or... no. The man behind the counter strikes you as being calm, friendly, and radiates a positive attitude. Appearance-wise, young and handsome are the words to describe him most accurate, while his confident posture is also difficult to ignore. He greets you with the familiar Chortistic salute. Chort is evolution, brother. My name is Theodore, often called Theo by almost everyone. He smiles. How may I help you? Evolution is short, brother. I'm Tim. Welcome to the Institute of Chort, brother. Our institution is very different from those on the outside, I'm sure, but you'll get used to it. Don't worry. Well, how and why did you join the Institute of Chort? I am Institute-born, brother. It wasn't my decision to become a Chortist, but with all the things I've heard about the outside world, I'm better off. Life here is better without a doubt. And here people care about each other, care about progress, evolution, rather than just about their own hide, so to speak. Wait. You never left this building? No. Again, from what I heard in the past, I'm better off being here. I'm not going to try to break his conditioning. Interesting. I had other questions, though. Yes? What? What can you tell me about the faceless? Keep the faceless out of the refectory, please. People are trying to eat here. My name's in Chort. Stop mentioning those vomit-inducing freaks here. We're trying to eat. That's what I was talking about. What can you tell me about the West Wing? It's dangerous. Do not go there. It's that simple, brother. What's so dangerous about it? I'm sorry, but I can't explain it now, brother. This is neither the time or place for that. This is where people eat, and I've got my hands a bit busy at the moment. Just trust me, it's dangerous. There's a reason no one goes there. Now, brother, are you ordering something or not? Sure. Show me what you got. I'm starving. Today's, we have a standard selection of different foods we've seen all throughout Underrail. We don't need any of this, so thank you, sir. We have what we took from people's pockets earlier to get us through the tough times. Upstairs, I guess? And the library will be 2 hours west from here, as will the West Wing we've been asked to stay out of. We'll visit the library, the West Wing later when we're perhaps authorized to do so. We don't want to go into any place we are unwelcome at the moment for fear of both being questioned and found out, and because there's probably much more to learn from other places we're allowed to go to at the moment. Oh, there was one thing I got here that I don't ever remember having before. A library propagator card. Used with terminals in Aiden's library, they give the user propagator rights, which among other things unlock the ability to download files from the library database without restrictions. It was on this acolyte, if I recall correctly. The woman, upon noticing you approach, puts her hand on her chest and salutes you. Her voice is quiet, almost a whisper, yet it sounds perfectly clear and understandable thanks to the almost unreal silence within the library. Chort is evolution. Welcome to Aiden's library, brother. I am Curator Nena. Can I help you with anything? Yes, what can you tell me about Aiden's library? Aiden's library is a major repository of information for the Institute of Chort. The library's database offers over 6 million pages of textual content, ranging from both contemporary and historical works in different scientific fields, as well as of preserved works of literary arts, journals, documents, and other. Most of it is in digital form, accessible to all members at any time, but there is also a significant number of physical copies which, due to the rarity as well as fragility of the medium, require special permissions. It goes without saying that Aiden's library contains the single most important, most monumental document in the history of Chortism, the original report, written by none other than Aiden himself. Being a Neonite, you are advised to start with the original report before moving on to more current chort-related works. What exactly is this original report? The original report was written 100 years ago, when Aiden first discovered chort in the dark depths of the deep caverns. This short text describes the event itself, Aiden's original discoveries and thoughts. Essentially, it narrates the genesis of chortism. If you haven't read it still, brother, do so as soon as possible. And I'm being completely honest here, have read it an uncountable amount of times, and I'm most certainly not the only one who have done so. Can you tell me anything about the library's history? I can give you some brief information, yes. This room we are currently in was a library from the very day the building was constructed. While it was much smaller, I should say humbler with respect to available information, it was nonetheless just as integral to the Institute of Chort as it is today, embracing all those who seek knowledge with wide open arms. Sadly, the Great Earthquake turned it, as well as the whole West Wing, into rubble back in the year 24. Most physical copies the library contained were destroyed, with only a few salvaged copies retrieved from the rubble. What a waste. Of course, I knew that the library had to be restored to its previous glory, so according to his will, the library was rebuilt within a relatively short period of time. Institute members named the library in his honor, and it remains so until this day. I hope that is the answer you sought. Was there anything else you wish to ask me? No. A short guide, Junetta. And you too, brother. Read well. Well, let's read well. Welcome to Aiden's library, brother. Oh, wow, it knows I'm a brother or sister just by me touching it. Must have some fingerprinting that they used. Today's quote, "Evidence is everywhere." Aiden. The original report by Aiden Travers. Oh, interesting. He changed his name the way it was spelt. I was the only one still alive from the expedition. As I found myself before this gigantic metal gate which stood closed and seemingly impenetrable, I began to ponder the most recent events, sure that these moments were to be my last, for the whole expedition was doomed from the start. It has been many years since Hollow Earth was left to rust in the forbidding bowels of the deep caverns. Biocorp had only begun to recuperate from the damage it suffered during the split when technocrats called me into their office. They explained to me that they wished to unearth, pardon the expression, several abandoned but not forgotten projects from Hollow Earth, and salvage that which can be salvaged from the once impressive research complex. Biocorp desired this expedition in hopes of at least slowing down its decline, which started years ago and wasn't about to stop. Internal struggles only worsened the situation. Of course, due to the severity of the task, it could not be entrusted to just about anyone. A senior scientist of my qualifications and experience was to lead the expedition, since only someone like that could be allowed to lay eyes on some of the most sensitive information Biocorp ever possessed. I accepted. I was truly excited to be going into deep caverns. Despite being familiar with how hostile the environment was, I cared very little for that fact. On the contrary, I viewed it as a new opportunity, a new high point in my career, and entrusted our survival into the hands of Captain Sagan's men without overthinking it. Few of my scientist colleagues were also to follow me on this mission, and once all parties were ready, we made our descent. Into death. At least for most of us. Environment had changed significantly between the Hollow Earth incident and the moment of our arrival, even more than we expected. Environmental hazards, natural predators in the form of horrid and surprisingly alien creatures, as well as other unexplained phenomena, were quick to decimate us. Bullets can stop beasts, but for how long? Hazard suits can save us from toxic fumes and corrosive liquids, but for how long? Reaching the main complex soon proved to be mission impossible. The immediate way to the east was blocked by an impenetrable cave-in, so we had to circumvent it by going to the north. After taking the first few steps toward our goal, we already found ourselves under siege by death itself, and sated its hunger quickly, luckily before it got to me. I was the only one still alive from my expedition. We fled north and found refuge by one of the large gates. Rust, mold, and demise were in the oxygen-devoid air, as well as some strange pulsating sensation which violently pressed on my skull. Poor Captain, the only one still with me, was lying in a corner and was slowly fading away, with the last bits of life leaving his mangled body, surrendering it to decay. He performed his duty to his very last breath. I was ready for the same fate, but then the large gates opened. Light illuminated the area, and strange pain from my head was instantly gone. While the lights weren't as bright as the ones in university, It was much better than the dwindling glow of my last flare. I stepped through the gate and faced something I wasn't prepared for. I faced it. It was giant. It was alien. It was formless. The strange creature was before me, and I had no clue of its origin or intentions, or really anything. All I could see is pure flesh with tentacles sprouting from it in all their glory. The sensation in my head returned, but this time it wasn't trying to kick down the door to my mind. Instead, it gently knocked. I answered politely. Chort was the only thing I could interpret during this peculiar exchange of thoughts, for everything else could simply be described as just some strange feeling in my head. During my 3-week stay, I was allowed by Chort to study it. Leftover equipment I was able to find in these old labs I combined with some of my own utilities, and was able to set up an improvised laboratory, which was most excellent. Regarding nourishment, I still have my own personal supplies, up to a point in time. Afterwards, I had to rely on natural sources. This is what I had learned during my stay before I finally left Chort and returned back certain that what I had found was an extraordinary discovery of unimaginable importance. Chort can be defined as a large multicellular organism of unknown age, but judging from its genetic makeup, it is primordial. While it shares a lot of common sequences with every living being ranging from the first single-cell organisms up to modern mammals, it is not directly related to us in any way. We do not have a clear common ancestor. How is that possible? Well, that I'm about to explain. The creature can enter a unique state of regeneration cycles in which it loses any recognizable form and undergoes genetic self-repair. It puzzled me how and why it does so, but I had answers faster than I had thought I would. Chort has a remarkably similar cell and DNA structure to us. The number of chromosomes and genes is indeed different, but a lot of recognizable sequences can be found there. The part of its genome that was non-coding was larger than in humans, and by studying it I have learned the answer to those 2 questions I asked myself previously. Whenever the creature begins suffering from any form of mutations, chromosomal deterioration, or even cancer, it can enter the aforementioned state of regeneration. It might do so in case where the environment changes drastically, and new traits are necessary to survive. I was even able to pinpoint the gene responsible for this. Now what happens when the creature begins regenerating is this. Its non-coding part of the genome, which can be in Chort's case considered something of a genetic backup, begins coding for proteins, which in turn change and rebuild the whole chromosome, even up to the telomeres. How it knows what sort of adaptation it needs to survive in the new environment is not yet clear, nor how it is able to recombine or even create these new sequences, but even this was a magnificent find, and raised another question. Can this be applied to humans, or other living creatures as well? Due to the similarity of the DNA structures, the answer might as well be yes, and with that, many other questions sprang to my mind. Could we too use what we learn from Chort and adapt ourselves at will? Could we live infinitely? Would we be able to control our own evolution and strive towards a goal unimaginable before? Could we finally return to the surface world? I wanted answers, and for that I was going to need time and support. As I had given Chort the final look before I left, hoping that it wasn't going to be really the last one, it became clear in my mind what I must do. I must return to the university as a lone survivor turned out to be... my return to the university as a lone survivor turned out to be quite interesting, and can best be described as an end to one thing, and the beginning of another. End of original report. Chort guide you, brother, or we're not done yet. Nope, stop. Back. Okay, so... important dates. I'm not going to read all these. Just know that it goes through quite a bit of information. There was a fire in the West Wing. Biocorp Armed Forces were renamed to Preservation. Education and Science merged into Investigation. Faceless battle started in year 42. People are dying of old age. People taking over. Biocorp's final dissolution into the courtyard riots. Neuropacification Project revealed at the annual investigation symposium. Interesting. Wonder what that's about. Let's look at investigative papers. Super steel biocompatibility refining technique. From what you can see by reading the abstract section, this paper elaborates on the application of super steel in the manufacturing of medicinal nanoparticles. It also features a novel supersteel refining technique developed by the Department of Physics for this very purpose. Use the library propagator card to download the file to a memory stick. Download successful. Hypothetical surface ray simulation through particle acceleration. This paper presents the results of various tests done inside the Institute's particle accelerator. The experiments are meant to simulate high-energy radiation, which could potentially exist on the surface, and its effects on equipment and living tissue. Preparation of regenerative medication? This paper details a type of medication that can be used to catalyze limited regeneration of cells and tissues as to restore normal function. Methods of preparation, both from natural ingredients as well as synthetically, are also included. Download it. And how about the application of thermosynthetic microorganisms? This paper describes a few known species of thermosynthetic microorganisms. Capable of using free energy to drive anabolic reactions, these artificially created organisms are now being genetically engineered to produce various compounds by metabolism, some of which can be used for medicinal or performance-enhancing purposes. Digital literature? Spirit of the Carapace. Insects perpetuate themselves through diversity. This includes the ability to sacrifice themselves when necessary. I don't remember anything like that before. We used all of our food doing that as well. Interesting. By using our food, I mean that time actually elapsed. How about that? Just in case, I don't want to get caught with this on us, so we're going to leave that behind. Oh, so we gained a super steel refining data blueprint, and we gained a regenerative mixture blueprint that we can read. What does that take to make? We don't know. Biofusive SCOBY. I've never even heard of this before. Some blood. Clean blastemia. Microphage fluid. And ampules. These are probably deep caverns related, these three things. Okay, well, let's keep investigating. Let's go this way. Once again, viewers, as you can see by the empty vases, I've been here before, and I picked everyone's pockets earlier. We're going to go up these stairs. Oh, we didn't check this vase, though. Nothing. Let's go up these stairs, because this is where the merchant is, I believe, for the Institute. The main one, I suppose we could say. But I think we have to go into this building first and talk with the people there. Hana, I think is her name, is right here. Wow. Good for you remembering, Tim. How many years has it been? Before you even had the chance to say anything, one of the two men points at you and speaks in a familiar, enthusiastic voice. Ah, Tim. Good of you to finally show up. I mean, the Mediant and I were just discussing how you retrieved the Reaching Man from the clutches of those devolved inbreds, and the effort is cut short by a resolute voice coming from the other man, one whose different and arguably more elaborate uniform markings introduce him as someone of superior rank in the Chortist hierarchy than Ephiator Danzel. One of the symbols, an eye with three Edquestant tentacles sprouting out of it, is similar to the one on Ephiator's Danzel's, barring the extra tentacle. Silence! I have heard it already, and our brother already knows it from first-hand experience, no? Tim, I am Mediant Samuel, the second-in-command of Preservation Forces of the Institute of Chort. Welcome to my office. Chort is evolution. Salute him by putting your hand on your chest, taking a slight bow. I see you're learning very fast. I like that. Quick adaptation. Now I need you to wait a few moments for me to finish with the Ephiator and send him away. This won't take long. Your nobility? Mediant, I don't understand what you mean. Send me away? Then let me explain it, Efriator. As soon as we're done here, you're going to take your Rassifor unit and lead them to patrol the upper Underrail, routes W1 through N5. The theft of the Reaching Man revealed how susceptible we are to having our couriers intercepted by the likes of lunatics and other inbred lowlives. I want the area surrounding the Institute secure at all times. At all times. Infuriation seeps into the Efriator. His body language reveals it, yet just before replying to the mediant, he calms down, as if ice-cold water was poured on his head. With the anger washed away, what is left is but great distress. Your nobility. I worked hard with Tim to locate and retrieve the Reaching Man, to bring it back in time for the anniversary. As is my duty to the Institute, to Aiden and to Chort. You realize that, yes? I know you do. And I'm rewarded for my hard work by being sent on a meaningless patrol? Hard work. Don't make me laugh, Efriator. If idling away in front of the Institute gate and waiting for a passerby, a complete stranger, to ask for help constitutes as hard work, then by all means you deserve a promotion, no? Perhaps you could even replace me, if that is what you desire. That's not how it happened, Mediant. I was... If you... Silence! I don't want to hear another word from you, Efriator. Did you really think that your babbling and bootlicking would make me forget the whole situation was handled? How it was handled? Yes, even though the figurine is back in our hands, it's not because of you. Because of a chain of very fortunate events. And the help of Tim, who by the Chort did a lot more than you. Now out! You have your orders, Efriator. Chort guides you. Overflowing with disappointment, the Efriator leaves with a barely audible farewell. Chort guides you, your nobility. Tim, I'm really sorry you had to take part in this. I have zero tolerance for such. I don't even know how to describe it. Incompetence. That is an adequate term. Now, you, on the other hand, are exactly the opposite. You adapted yourself to the situation at hand beautifully, culled the lunatic vermin, and retrieved the valuable figurine, and achieved your goal. You became a member of our beautiful institution. Perfect. Survival of the fittest at its best, no? Now, I've been dying to meet you. Oh, not literally, of course. Let's leave that to someone else. I have work for you. A test, if you will. But if you have some questions before we start, feel free to ask them. What can you tell me about preservation? Preservation is one of the Institute's divisions, the one concerned with preserving Chort, this institution, and all its members. Our Rassifors are among the best trained troops in Underrail, only we haven't had the chance to show it to outsiders, no? How does one become a Rassifor? First thing is dedication to the Institute of Chort and its ideology. Without it, everything else becomes meaningless. Second is hard work and rigorous training. Without it, one will not be able to perform his duties within preservation forces. Third and final is adaptation to any and all situations that Rassifors might encounter. I think that covers everything, no? What can you tell me about Harmost? Harmost Stavros commands all preservation forces and relays his orders to a mediant, which is currently me, who then relays them to troops below. His Excellency is a wise man with years of experience and a great sense of strategy. He was a student of Monsignor Marshall, after all, no? Let me ask you something else. By all means, do so, brother. When did you join the Institute and why? I'm afraid I dislike discussing that subject, brother. I can respect that. Thank you, brother. You said you had work for me. Yes, I can see you are interested in becoming a part of preservation, no? If I get a chance to slay lunatics, faceless, or other vermin, count me in. Wonderful. I was hoping for an enthusiastic response, and I wasn't let down. Now listen, I have a simple job for you. You are aware of the destructive force that was the recent earthquake. It did terrible damage throughout Underrail. Unfortunately, the Institute wasn't spared from its wrath either. One of the walls in the utilities section, a couple levels below us, has collapsed, revealing a passage to a long-abandoned Harpocrates station. Minor damage, all things considered, which is lucky for us. However, it poses a security risk. As you may have already guessed, it was actually recently discovered, for the breach happened in one of the locked rooms no one has entered for a long time. We hadn't noticed what had happened until... I can't remember who it was, but someone went there and witnessed the chaos. Naturally, a Rest 4 unit was dispatched to scan the area, and it was free of threats at the time. When we later checked some of the old plans, however, we noticed that Utility Station 7, west of Harpocrates' main hall, has a long tunnel leading somewhere far away. Pipeline goes through it, so the plans show, but I'm worried about something else coming through. You understand me, no? I need someone to explore that utility station and secure it. Someone, he smiles. Oh, sorry everyone, I'm sniffling, I shouldn't be doing that. I'll check out that utility station. Just tell me how to get there. Go down the stairs by Ian's library, and you'll see a couple of Rassifors. They will give you the key and let you through to the station. There is another set of stairs further to the right, but do not go there. It is a utility area which suffered a few gas leaks after the earthquake and is currently unsafe. That is all for now, brother. Come back once you are sure that the area is secure. Tort guide you. We'll perform the Torta salute. Tort guide you too, Mediant. Hannah. This young woman welcomes you by putting her hand on her chest and follows with a verbal greeting. Her bright and high-pitched voice sounds pleasant and matches her petiteness perfectly. On the other hand, the full combat uniform she is wearing, complete with the mask she never removes, a characteristic you notice in all Rassifors throughout the Institute, creates a different if conflicting visual image. Torch's evolution! I am Efri Torhana, Armory Keeper for the Institute of Chort. You're Tim, if I'm not mistaken? Ah, evolution is Chort. Yes, I am him. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you too, Tim. Under Mediant Samuel's direct orders, you are allowed to access the Preservation's Armory, despite the fact that you are not a Rassifor. Yet. Of course, Armory access is not free, so prepare some Charons before making a purchase. How and why did you join the Institute of Chort, Efri Torhana? Institute born here, she laughs. That means I've been exposed to Chortism all my life, and I'm glad for it. I was lucky. Outsiders who come here as Neonites always talk about how difficult life on the outside is. Poverty, disease, bandits, wars even. While we do have our own problems here, namely with the Faceless and, as of late, lunatics, the quality of life in the Institute is unmatched by anything in South Underrail. All in all, Institute is totally Apex, she laughs. Have you ever been outside? Other than a few Upper Underrail patrols when I was a Rassifort trainee, I never went too far from the Institute. I saw nothing of interest during that time anyway, totally nothing, so I did not really feel the need to see what lies beyond. I'm sure it's just more of the same. I got everything I need right here. I have friends, family, this totally Apex Armory, and I suppose I have a purpose. Tortism is something you dedicate your life to, something that fulfills you. All in all, I have everything here. Alright, let's see what you have. So she is one of the better merchants, if I recall correctly. At least that's what the internet says. It's been a long time since I've been shopping with her, though. Wow, and I think this might be the first time I'm actually seeing a bolt quiver this entire run. My goodness, can you imagine playing a crossbow person? Now there has to, and this is the first crossbow belt you find? I guess you don't really need it. It is nice, though. I liked using it on Garrett when it was introduced. Now, what does she have? So first off, she's not buying anything I've got. I don't really see anything really spectacular here. Well, that was sexy, Tim. Okay, so she does sell high-quality stuff, in so much I see a 132 grenade launcher frame. Not that we need that. Okay. Lots of... Look at all the weapons she has. Tons of weapons, but nothing, I mean, we're interested in. Oh my god, look how expensive the miniguns are. 104 worth of value. I can't... How much money would this be if I was to hit auto here? $3,000. I don't even know if it's good. I just know it's expensive, which doesn't necessarily translate into good. Okay, so nothing here I'm interested in. And she's not selling any high-quality parts that I would require to make one of the special weapons either. Thank you, Hannah. Oh. I did not walk in here earlier. as is evidenced by us walking in now and having that conversation. We will pick the immediate pockets. $60. Ours now. All right. Where to next? I want to leave the Institute now that we have a blueprint for Super Steel. While there's plenty of other people to talk to, I'm going to short-circuit talking with too many other folks so that I can actually leave. We need to get permission to leave, which means we need to, well, and to do that, we need to solve some investigations problems. Oh, viewer, I gotta take a break. 1 second. I shall be back. Good morning, viewer. It's the next day. I couldn't continue this yesterday. Sorry. Too much sick. Not as bad as it had been earlier in the week, but too much to record. Right, we were going to investigation so we could potentially figure out have a pass which will allow us to leave the Institute. So, let's continue to make our way there. I did not pick the pockets of these people, by the way, but I can come back and do this off screen in the name of being expeditious. But I don't know which direction to go in for this. Let's go this way. You have to forgive me, viewer. It's been a few years since I've been here. Oh! I don't think I mentioned it, did I? We'll pick pockets really quick while I do talk about this really fast. Or not so really fast. Right, taking too long. This is the furthest I've gotten in hard mode. None of my other characters entered the Institute of Chort. They're all waiting to go in, with two of them, Sly Boots and Lotaeri, having completed the Black Sea DLC. There's still more for those characters to do. I don't think they did any of the political quests, for example, joining the Free Drones or Protectorate. They didn't do all the exploration either. They are at least one level below, or they're equal to or lower than Tim here is. And that includes having finished all of the Black Sea DLC. Just as a heads up. So everything from here on out, I mean, it's not new. I've done this before. But I have not done it on this difficulty. So if there's any changes, I don't know what they're going to be until we encounter them. Alright, hello. Rassiphores. This is where I want to be. Near the creatures. Oh, man. The mornings are better and worse than the evenings are in terms of illness. They're better because I don't feel as sick. They're worse because I am suffering side effects of the medication I'm taking at night in the mornings. Headaches or pressure in particular are bad. Oh, you're welcome, miss. We can hear the computer running here. That's a sound I need to help me sleep. I think I mentioned it before, but I suffer from something called... Suffer from lots of things, viewer. If I was to stop and tell you about all the problems my life had, and all the health issues I've had to endure, I'm pretty sure most people go through maybe 2 of those things. I suffer from something called tinnitus, which puts this incredibly high-pitched whining sound in my head when it's quiet. It's like an alarm, and it never stops. It wakes me up. It's so loud. It's a damaged nerves, I believe, in my head. And there's no cure. And it's been something I've had since probably college. So 20-something years easily. Nice! More food! People shoving food in their pockets. Thank you. Ooh. There's probably lots of delicious food in the freezer. Handsome John... John the Beautiful would be very happy with this place. Okay, let's go in here and talk to the gentleman who is, I'm pretty sure, super paranoid about anyone else walking in here talking to him, because it only means problems happen. Anyway, but with tinnitus, I need white noise to help me sleep, or I don't fall asleep. It's just too loud, the tinnitus. You come up to a man who seems to be studying some papers. As he raises his head to look at you, you immediately feel he doesn't approve of you being in his office. Is it the long and overemphasized sigh that gave you that impression? Maybe, is it the tired and unwelcome stare that you feel could push you outside with enough force to also knock you off your feet? Perhaps. Or is it his clenching fist that could, if someone is not careful, end up causing serious pain? Who knows? In any case, while you ponder all of this, the man decides to speak first and does so in a deep and gravelly voice. Oh. Chort is evolution. I'm Principal Investigator Rista, and I sincerely hope you weren't sent by Lydia. No, I just go around and meet various people of the Institute. Oh, that is good news indeed. But still, every time someone enters my office, it equals either more work or more problems. Magnificent Chort. It's either a sudden symposium I have to prepare for in a hurry, or some new project with an unrealistic deadline, or some other problem, or a disaster in the lab. Man, I know what this guy's going through. At work, it was kind of like this. I feel for you, man. I know exactly how it's like. Do this, do that. I hear it all the time. When will it end? You hear rushed footsteps behind you. Slowly, they become closer and closer. The man finally comes to a still after storming into the office. You can tell he wants to expel something important as soon as possible, but the severe shortness of breath prevents him from doing so. After a few moments, he regains himself and is finally able to explain what urged him to come in such haste. I'm so sorry to bother you, investigator. Whoa, I know you said you don't want us to be disturbed, but we have a major problem. Oh, really? Oh, really? Well, thank this mister here for stepping to my office and causing all this chaos. He shrugs. It's his fault. He turns towards you. See? This is what I've been talking about. Every time someone walks in my office, problem. Why can't people let me work in peace? Why, Chort? Why? And then people complain when I lock the door. Oh, now it's my fault? Please listen to me. One of the NPS specimens has escaped its holding cell and is running rampant. I don't know how it happened, but I was by the stairs doing my work when suddenly heard strange and loud sounds coming from down there. I took a peek and I saw it. Which one? Oh, don't tell me. Psycho. Indubitably. Well, since this is all your fault, whoever you are the ones going to catch it. Maybe. If and only if you promise to treat me better from now on. I'm not the cause of your problems. Fair enough. Now listen carefully. Psycho is one of our NPS specimens that, as you just heard, escaped its enclosure and is making a home in the Type 2 specimens section. What it is a genetically engineered Azuri with a deadly arsenal of psi abilities at its disposal. I reckon it's a bit too frightened to climb the stairs, or else it'd already be causing havoc in the lab, but that could change at any moment. And how am I supposed to capture it? Well, we have a portable neuropacifier that should calm the creature down. Oh, this is what that one, show and tell that they had was showing and telling about. Should. In case you haven't heard, should calm it down, just so you know. Indubitably, it is not an easy task, since you have to somehow incapacitate the creature, and then put the device on its head, and then activate it. Psycho is very tough, so your best bet is to tire weaken the creature first before trying to incapacitate it. Just be careful not to hurt it too much. So, to my recollection, stunning the creature, or actually incapacitating it with like a flashbang, doesn't let you do the thing. You have to get its hit points low, and then you can slam the thing on its head. That seems very complicated. I know, it is. I'm sure you'll be able to do it. The better question is, will you? I'll do it. Let me have that neuropacifier. Very good. Here's the device. It gives you a portable neuropacifier. Is there a non-portable one? As soon as you get the chance to use the device, place it on Psycho's head. Line the markers on the device with the place where the two halves of the carapace open to expose the brain. Once lined up, press the only button on the device and stand back. Everything else is automatic. Just step away and you'll be fine. Follow the corridor past the holding pens and go down the stairs. Ironically, the lower level is full of dark passages which will, no doubt, make a job a tad more difficult. Troy guides you. Oh, and try not to open any cells there unless you wish to be cold on the spot. Well, we're first going to see if you have any other portable devices in your pockets, otherwise known as objects. Everything should be portable in your pockets, if they weren't there to begin with. That's an interesting way of looking at it, isn't it? Everything in your pockets is portable. Bet you didn't think about that this morning. Viewer, why do I get a little silly when I'm sick? What do they have in here? Rathound alphas, a warthog, a pacified coil spider. God, the urge to kill it is overwhelming. Once you walk past it, it just immediately kills me, because it can. Pacified burrower, good for them. My goodness, that's another creature I would just immediately normally kill. Oh, there was a key on you. Probably to these cells, I'm guessing. And I don't really need to open the cells up. I will take your adrenaline and your $5. Alright, let's head on down there and see if we can get this done. Interestingly enough, the entire room is already visible. So we know the layout of the chamber, and we can hear Psycho making clicky noises up ahead. We're also given this. Which we cannot put onto a hotkey. And I can't right click on it. Okay. Alright. Let's do this, Tim. It should be right around here to start. I hear a cat. Alright, let's get him. Coming for you, Psycho. Hello. Now, we might accidentally slaughter it with a single hit. That's happened to me before. A single crit will kill it, so we don't want that to happen. Okay, and it's done. The creature seems knocked out for the time being. Now that you have a chance to take a closer look, you can truly admire its impressive size. However, However, it appears that it's dead. This scarred carapace reveals more than you had expected. I forgot I put poison off screen on my dagger. The creature is one of extreme age. How old exactly, you're unsure. Miniature landscapes adorn the beetle's back. Every scar, scratch, or defect on it illustrates a separate story of this being's long past. But time to study it you do not have, however, as the creature could regain consciousness at any moment, which is not likely to happen because it's dead. Use the neuropacifier on the creature. Let's see what happens. You performed the procedure as you were instructed. Something is really effed up with this. You position the device so that the markers match the carapace opening line of the beetle's head and press the activation button on the neuropacifier. As soon as you do so, you hear the device activating, and after a brief delay, the faint sound of the carapace cracking reaches your ear. You expected some reaction from the creature, twitching or some other motions. The consequence is probably painful intrusion, but the beetle remains dead. Soon everything quiets down. Well, we lost the neuropacifier, so it counted as us placing it on its head. We also gained 174 experience points. What's the worst that could possibly have happened? We gotta reload the game and do this again. I am curious if we turn the quest in, if it counts as us having actually pacified it, but probably not. So let's do this again. Crap, I forgot about the poison. So we can't use the dagger. So oh man. I don't have another dagger. And I dare not use my Trichrome Spear. We could use psionics to try to harm it. So, okay. So, we're going to have to do a bunch of running around. Probably here. Alright. Let's activate our shield. And we'll make two spear swings at this thing. Well, I mean, we can't make another anyway. Actually, let's tase it. And is that enough to actually keep it stunned? Yes. Okay. Okay. It all worked out in the end after all. I swear to you, viewer, the stun that we just did doesn't actually guarantee what we're reading right here. It's just, I'm doing a little more damage with the stun. That's it. And that damage is just enough to put it over the threshold where it is stunned enough that we can now put the thing on its face. Alright, Psycho. There you go. Oh! Crap, I forgot I'm using the efficient shield here. Let's put you back on. And we'll use a battery. Oh, I would like to see what other creatures they have here. What do they have? Nothing in that cell. Gray. What a good name for a Rathound Alpha. Lucy. Probably a future wife for Psycho, I'm guessing. Or husband. Slimy. A cuddle snail. Haven't fought those yet. They're going to be interesting when we get to them in the deep caverns. And Dusty, who I'm assuming is a laser cat. They probably found it down near Dude's home. I can't think of Dude's home without thinking of Syphil and Ollie and the song Dude's House. I don't think any of you who are watching this have any knowledge whatsoever about what that old show used to be, since that came out back in the 90s, and probably half of you weren't even alive back then. Alright, Rista. Hello. Is it done? It is done. I put the neuropacifier on the creature's head, and it is now, well, pacified. Technically, being dead also pacifies the thing. Very good. Very good. I am pleased. I will send someone to take care of that, and you, Oh, 1 second. I'm already getting text this morning. Let me lower the volume of this. Sorry, and I have to check it, viewer. I have to check it. Oh, okay. My brother is hoping I'm doing okay. I will respond back in a few more minutes. I actually never had the chance to introduce myself. Tim is the name. Tim, I heard that just recently. Figurine? Did you? Yeah. Oh, now I understand everything. I would like to apologize for my earlier behavior. And this in short, it's always just... I have a lot of work here, an incredible amount of work, and every time someone enters my office, something goes horribly awry. It directly translates to more trouble, and all that before I'd even get a chance to drink my first cup of mushroom tea of the day. Well, you did good, indeed. And for that, here is something for you. He hands you 400 Stygian coins. If you seek more work, why not drop by my office sometime, bro? I think I've got the stuff for a man like yourself. So for some reason, he now uses the word bro as a conversation tick, as it were. Yep, he's moved over to using bro instead of indubitably, which I thought for sure was going to be the word he prefers to use. Well, we're here, so do you have any more work for me? Indeed I do. I have 2 jobs for you, as a matter of fact. The first requires you to take a ferry ride to a pretty remote place in Lower Underrail, and the second one is about a genetics disease resistance project. Interested in any one of the 2, or perhaps both? Tell me about that ferry trip. Alright, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of Forsaken Island? I have not. Okay, there's no shame in that. Allow me to explain what that is. It's an island and it's forsaken. I'm guessing. The Forsaken Island is a remote island situated somewhere between Core City, approximately southeast of it, and the more southern parts of Lower Underrail. It is, people say, surrounded by violent currents, which makes it an unpopular place for tourism. However, there is something else there, the Forsaken Behemoth. Now, I've heard some exaggerated stories about its appearance and behavior. It breathes fire, shoots lasers from its eyes, has 7 heads, various nonsense. I mean, the creature, if real, might have some psionic abilities, I don't deny that. It's just that some of the things I've heard take it too far. However, what is consistent in all these stories, it can be summarized like this. It's a big lizard. A very, very big lizard. And if it really exists, I want a piece of it. Not fight it, but rather a sample of its skin or whatever you can find. So what I wish you to do is basically this. Go to the island, find someone who's crazy enough to take you there, see if the creature exists, and bring me a sample of it. There's a possibility it is the only one of its kind, so try not to cull it, for we might return later and try to capture it. Simple. Really simple. The pay is good. 650 charons is, in my opinion, very good, and you receive it once you come back from the island. What do you say? A dangerous journey to hunt a giant monster? Count me in. Very good. That's all. Yup, that is all. Good luck. Troy guide you, bro. Alright, Troy guide you too, brother. He nods. Alright, we now have an excuse to leave the Institute. And we've been playing for about an hour. So let's leave, and then I'm going to cut the recording. Because I'm going to do Super Steel off screen. I have enough that I think we'll get 2 more Super Steel plates. Which brings us to a mighty whopping 5 total that we purchased on this character. One of which we'll use for a Super Steel weapon. The other of which we might make additional, we'll try making maybe some more boots or armor. Since we can probably get better armor than the one we're currently using. Not by much numbers, and I would say it's not worth the charons to upgrade our armor even slightly. Our armor is really good, but I want to do it, and we got the money, so why not do it? Oh, did I pick your pockets? I think we did. Let's see if they've reset any of their amount. They have! I'll take an adrenaline shot from you. A slow, unhurried male voice is heard from the intercom. Chort is evolution, brother. What do you need? I need to leave the Institute building. You just joined, brother. What is the reason for your egress? I'm on official Institute business. Official business? On whose authority? Principal Investigator Rista. Yes, I have been informed of that, brother. Oh, and I might need to take several trips back and forth. I will note that. Opening the gate now, brother. Chort guide you. Chort guide you too, brother. You should shut the gate. Ah, it's a shame. I guess they're going to leave it open. The Vassifors themselves will just slaughter everyone as they try to bum rush the entrance. Oh, maybe I should talk with the people again. Tell them what's going on in there a little bit. But maybe we'll do that in the next episode. Thank you guys for watching this one, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.